As I was sitting just silently, the indication from within was very clear that you should be doing your research on Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. Om Sri Sai Ram. Swami often says, only in the depths of silence can the voice of God be heard. This is a statement which has had a very profound impact on my life, and I'm sure many of you would have had similar experiences with silence. Today I would just like to share how silence has helped me finish PhD and how silence has helped me guided my PhD. Now you might be wondering, PhD is an endeavor which involves collection of knowledge, reading a lot of things, analysis and creation of net new knowledge. How is PhD connected to silence, which is supposed to be empty? Basically, it is through silence that I became aware of the fact that we can connect to Swami within. Because when Swami always says, God is in you, above you, around you, below you. Swami always says, God is in you. That means He is within us as a form of conscience. And it is through this silence that we can connect through Swami. The first guidance that I experienced from Swami with regards to PhD is whether I should join for PhD here or not. Because after MBA there is always this confusion for students, even if those who want to join PhD, because there are very good opportunities in the form of jobs available for MBA students once they finish their MBA program. And I was also in this dilemma because I wanted to stay back for a few more years in Parthi, enjoy this place. On the other hand, there are very good job opportunities available. So do I stay back or not? And that is when I started using silence to my advantage. I used to sit in silence in the mandir, in the hostel, and invariably I used to receive some kind of guidance from Swami as to what I should be doing next. With respect to my PhD, I prayed to Swami for a few months, and one day, I remember it was in February of 2017, that's when finally I got a clear indication from within that I should be doing PhD here, and this is the supervisor I should be joining under. So the inner guidance was that I should be joining under Dr. Niranjan, who is the current warden of our hostel. So I told Swami, if it is really you that you are guiding me in this way, asking me to do PhD under this sir, then please guide me and show me some strong indication that this is you that is guiding me and not somebody else and not my own figment of imagination. As I prayed this, thus, I had never shared that I am going to, I have had these plans of joining for PhD under Niranjan sir. But somehow in our class, among the MBA students, this rumor spread that I am joining for PhD under Niranjan sir. I don't know who started this rumor, and every time when Niranjan sir used to come and take class for us in the final semester, I was in the final semester, people used to tell always, sir, Chandrahaas is joining under you for PhD sir, is it true? And this happened multiple times, and without even me telling sir also believed this because others were all telling him. And by the time I actually approached sir at the end of my MBA program, asking him for permission, seeking his help for joining under him for PhD, he already knew that I am planning to join under him. So this kind of rumor which got created without me telling anybody, that was Swami indicating to me through various means, this time through my classmates, that I have given you the inner indication, now I am telling you in other ways that you have to join for PhD under Dr. Niranjan. So this is how my PhD journey started. Then my MBA program got over. So I had a good 2.5 months gap where I was at home. And I was praying to Swamis that leadership was one subject which I couldn't grasp properly during my MBA days. So I was praying to Swami, please guide me as to what kind of research you want me to pursue. And I was at my home doing this prayer in my puja room, and my meditation was over, and as I was sitting just silently, the indication from within was very clear that you should be doing your research on Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. These are the three leaders that you will be studying. And I was pretty shocked because I knew about Mahatma Gandhi, but Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. are two leaders I had just heard about their contributions to society, etc. I did not know any details about them, nor I knew what research is. So I had kept this to myself. I did not obviously share with my supervisor or anybody in Parthi because I wanted to first have some kind of confirmation myself that it is Swami's indication, and I wanted to go through the regular procedure of finding out my research topic. And a few months down the line, as I was meeting with several experts, discussing what kind of topic to pursue and doing a literature review, it became clear that this is probably a viable topic. Then I had a conversation with one very senior person who heads the HR division of one of the big IT companies in India. So he had visited Parthi, and I had consulted him, asked his permission and asked his guidance regarding my PhD topic. As I was having this conversation with him, I asked him a very specific question at the end of the conversation. I asked him, sir, having understood my motivation for doing this research, what kind of research do you think that I should be pursuing, and what kind of research study do you think would be of interest to you? He mentioned, see, as a HR leader who has looked at various research studies over the years, I feel if you do a qualitative study on leaders such as Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr., then I feel that kind of study would be interesting to me. He specifically mentioned these three leaders' names. Then a few weeks later, I had another conversation with another senior professor from abroad who had visited Parthi at the time, and again when I asked him a similar question, he ended up with the names of the same three leaders which I received from Swami through the inner voice, through my silent sitting several months ago. So like this, three separate people mentioned the three names again, and that is when I revealed to my supervisor that, sir, this has been happening. I did not tell you, but three people have also confirmed, and I have their conversation. I was writing down as I was sitting with them, I was taking notes, and I showed him my notes saying, sir, these are the notes of my conversation with these three people, and three people have also mentioned these three names. And that is how I started pursuing research on these three leaders, and I ended up doing the research work, and I recently defended my thesis based on these three leaders' lives. And that is how Swami guided me in selecting the topic for my research. Not just the topic for my research, how do I pursue this? What kind of research should I do on these three leaders? Even that was guided by Swami. So, with respect to what kind of research I should pursue, when I prayed and asked this to Swami, within a few weeks' time, when I was going through Sathya Sai Speaks, Swami in fact had clearly mentioned in a paragraph how a leader should be studied. So I don't remember the exact lines, but in essence what Swami said was that if you want to study a leader and you want to assess their values, you should study the entire life of the leaders and see what are their values, beliefs, character, etc. What changes have happened in the leader's life after that, and what are the paths that they have been following. So this is in essence what Swami has told in one particular place in Sathya Sai Speaks. And what are the chances that I am looking at it? So this is how, what kind of research that I should be doing on these three leaders was solidified. The point that I am trying to drive home here is that when we pray to Swami, raise this question to consciousness, our inner conscience, through silence, then the answer would come to us in any way. It can be in our own meditation, it can be through anybody, any person, it can be through a book, it can be through a tree, it can be through a stone, because everything is consciousness, and Swami would use anything to communicate to us. And as I was going through my PhD, I had several problems which occurred in my PhD, and every time I used to rely back on this silence, sitting in silence and praying to Swami, and inevitably the answer would come through one means or the other. It so happened that in my third year of my PhD, after the third year had ended, that's when COVID happened and COVID hit. Like most other people's lives, my PhD was also affected, and because I could not move around and do what I wanted to do, I had a lot of time to contemplate. And that's when I was feeling a little sad, because in the case of my supervisor, Dr. Niranjan, Swami had given Sir a lot of interviews when he was doing his PhD, and Swami used to guide him regarding, based on whatever questions he asked Swami regarding his research, and so Swami was kind enough, gracious enough to guide him with respect to what kind of research he should be doing. So I was feeling little bad that, see, he has been having he's had a lot of interactions with Swami in the pretext of his PhD, but now, and fortunately or unfortunately, that I have joined our university, Swami's university, after 2011. I am not fortunate enough to have such kind of conversations with Swami and get such direct guidance for my research. So this was the small nagging feeling that I always had, especially after COVID hit. So once when I was feeling thus, I just opened a random Sathya Sai Speaks book, and as I was going through it, I was shocked, because in one particular discourse, Swami is talking about actually my research supervisor. And what Swami is talking about is as follows. Swami said, there is one researcher who is doing his PhD in the area of Mahabharata. Today, he came and asked me some doubts regarding his research. Then Swami said something which took me aback, but also gave me a lot of confidence. Then Swami said, I did not give him any answers directly. I told him to sit in silence, and I told him that in his silence he will find all the answers. So this was a direct indication to me, because I was thinking about my supervisor and how lucky he was. I was practicing this silence and seeking answers through silence. And here is Swami again reiterating that what you are doing is correct. Sit in silence and you will find all the answers. They might not come directly, but it can come through any other forms or means. So another surprising incident which I have not shared it with anybody till now, which has happened, is that due to some technical reasons, there was a few months delay in my PhD, and I was waiting for the date of my colloquium, PhD colloquium. Colloquium is a process that as a presentation that I have to make before submitting my PhD thesis. I was not sure when this date would be. I was little worried. I went to Mandir and prayed to Swami saying, Swami, when is this PhD colloquium going to happen? When is it going to get over? As I was in Mandir praying to Swami, asking for some guidance, the answer came very quickly from within that, don't worry, your PhD colloquium will happen on May 24th. You prepare for it. So immediately I came to hostel, then I opened my laptop and I started preparing my PhD colloquium PPT presentation. First entering the date as May 24th, and I started working on it because I felt, okay, it is an indication from Swami, let me just work towards it. I will not tell anybody anything, it is just an indication to me. Then the technical issues, all that were happening behind the scenes got resolved, and I was eligible to give colloquium. So I asked my supervisor, sir, what kind of dates do you think is a feasible date for giving this colloquium? So after discussion, sir told, let us suggest May 25th to 31st as the dates for the colloquium. Now I was surprised, thinking that, I had got this indication that Swami has told from within that it is May 24th. But the dates that are being proposed only are from 25th to 31st. So what is going to happen? But I just left it, and I just surrendered to whatever was happening, and I thought, okay, fine, let whatever happen. I was happy that at least colloquium is happening. And finally 25th was the date which was approved, and I started preparing for 25th. But I always had this thing in mind that, I had, in my silence, it was told to me that it is 24th. How can God be wrong? How can silence be wrong? It has to be 24th, right? But I was thinking, okay, maybe something happened and 24th became 25th. We don't know what divine plans are. So I just kept quiet. Then, I think it was for the first time ever in our university, but just before, few days before 24th, a mail came that some people who are mandatorily supposed to be part of the PhD colloquium on 25th are unavailable. So my PhD colloquium is getting preponed from 25th to 24th, and I ended up giving my PhD colloquium on 24th. So this is how Swami has guided me from within with respect to every aspect of my PhD, right from whom I should join under for my PhD, what topic I should select, how I should do my PhD, where I should publish my research papers, and when my PhD colloquium would happen. I have experienced the unseen hand of Swami, the omnipresent Swami guiding my PhD at every single step. And I feel it is only Swami's grace and will that has helped me complete my PhD in such a successful manner. Thank you. Sai Ram.